Hi, Mike. Hi, Tony.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Michael Joseph Nelson. I'm an actor and stuntman and producer based out of Los Angeles, California. I'm here today with the wonderful actress, producer, and director, Maggie Anwer. And we have the pleasure of interviewing Tony J. Selimi, an award-winning author, filmmaker, and a world-leading business mentor and life-educating specialist in human behavior. Filmmakers, film directors, actors, people from all professions and businesses from all market sectors seek his experience and expertise to develop and deliver solutions to their personal, professional, and business challenges. He can help you focus your energy, your mental faculties, and your time in achieving all of the life's results that you desire. Having somebody like Tony J. Selimi as your educator is like having a transparent mirror that will reveal the optimal path to take so you can find fulfillment in meaning, clarity that you need to succeed in life. Tony is a featured expert in coaching, a documentary series, Living My Illusion, which I actually just watched. And if you haven't seen it, I absolutely recommend you go and watch it on Amazon Prime. He co-created it with his clients and has appeared on hundreds of television, radio, and podcast stations across the world, including ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, Sky, Alsat-M, Oxygen TV show with Bessem Dina, and I'm going to butcher this last name, Magistari.
Well done.
On Clan HD and TV Clan, reaching an audience of over 100 million people worldwide. So joining us today, Tony J. Selimi, thank you so much. I know we have a lot of questions being asked to us. So Maggie, you want to take that lead?
You, Tony, and thank you, Mike, for the introduction. And of course, Tony, we will talk about a lot of stuff and a lot of questions. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me at your festival and inspiring your filmmakers, directors, actors, and anybody who joins us.
And according to your book, Advice to Wisdom, How to Live Healthy and Peaceful Life, especially these days. About to Wisdom is his book, and it's really a nice book. I can recommend it. But these days, we have panic and fear that we will lose our jobs and we will lose our life. We couldn't communicate again. So how can the people deal with that?
Firstly, I will give you the answer specifically for people in the film industry, because I deal with all sorts of people, but sometimes some of the challenges are specifically to a specific industry. In these uncertain times, many filmmakers out there, like myself, like you, actors like Mike, find ourselves in tremendous uncertainty. But as a result of that, there are many different fears, because when there's an uncertainty with no time, that basically at some point it ends, the mind starts creating stories and it starts creating things which are untrue. And this is what fears really do. It's part of my primitive brain. But one of the things that I have researched for the last 30 years is understanding human behavior and understanding the psychology of a human being and how that psychology relates to the external environment and to the internal body. Because our body with our senses consistently communicates with the environment. And even if we don't hear something like with our mouth or we don't say something with our mouth or we hear with our ears, through our senses, we consistently get billions of information. And the challenge is there. It's for people to start quieting the mind, which is one of the biggest tasks for most people out there. How do you get this noise in your head to become calm? So therefore, you can really, really listen to what is it that you want. But before we get there, one of the reasons I felt called to write A Path to Wisdom is because those three things that everybody in the world wants, regardless of what industry or profession you are, which is having this inner peace, creating some form of work-life balance. So basically you can really love and enjoy what you do, but at the same time, spend time with your loved ones, with in your relationships, the things that you want to do in your hobbies. So having that balance, and most importantly, being healthy, because in today's world, the more stress you have, the more the body becomes ill. So when I started writing that, I spent almost 12 weeks in meditation, in bridging material world and the spiritual world, because basically I wanted to understand the Eastern methods of healing the body, mind, and the soul, and also the Western method of psychology and how do we manage intelligently our body. And our body meaning our physical body, our emotions, our mind, our heart, our soul, and of course, the central part of it is the brain. So on that journey, I created those 25 principles that truly help people get clarity of what is it that you want. And when you have this clarity, this voice within, and then you adjust your beliefs and your values and your actions on a daily basis towards something which is so inspiring from within, you can overcome every uncertainty. The problem today most people have is they don't have clarity of what is it truly important to them. Because most people live according to other people's priority of values because they think it's nice, or because they think somebody is telling them to have it, or because it's trendy, or because they've heard it on TV, or because their parents, that voice of their parents telling you what you need to do and what you need to become.
That's very interesting. The filmmakers, of course, upset, and we are, we are one. I'm one of them. I will never talk about other people, but how can they create? I like that Martin Scorsese made his short film in his home. Are
you asking me or?
No. I'm telling you that you can go through this this pandemic, or you can use it with a negative way, like Martin Scorsese. He made that short film at his house, low budget, and I think we can think about something like this. But I guess that the people have the problem with mental health.
Yes, absolutely. Because basically, when you have a mental health issue, no matter how creative you are, you're not going to be that creative and being able to create things like Martin doing the short film. I wrote the entire book in 90 days in lockdown. And now I'm pitching that to some of the biggest publishers for a huge contract. So the reality is you can use this time to really be creative. But mental health is anxiety, it's depression, it's stress, it's OCD. It's so many different things that people go through when an external environment changes. And this is why I stress extremely important for people to spend time to truly understand how to intelligently use their mind and their emotions and their body. Most people don't use mindfully their mental faculties, their emotional faculties. They go into overload and burst. So, as human beings, we have a choice to think what to do. And even if we think we don't, the reality is we do. Because as long as you can distinguish between black and white, you can distinguish what's right and wrong, and all of those things that naturally you built as part of your upbringing, as part of you growing up, you have the ability to make a decision. So basically, if I gave anybody who complains with mental health, let's say I gave them a ripe apple, which is delicious and healthy, and then I gave them a rotten one, naturally they make a decision to go for the healthy apple. Yeah. So, so they do have the ability. They might not have the ability to make a decision for something they feel they can't make a decision, but the ability is there. So once the person knows the ability is there, with powerful questioning, you can bring them to the realization where they make a choice, which is informed choice for them to go to the next steps, even though they might be suffering with mental health. Once they see there's a hope, once they see there's a path, once they see there's a method or a process they can follow, they can easily get out of that state of mental health into more empowering state and make a choice that hopefully they create a product or they make their dreams come true.
Yes, but most of the people have the worst part that they thought, because of the abuse they go through, and that they watched maybe on Living My Illusion, the film that you created, and maybe you can talk about the relationships more and how it affected the people, especially the filmmaker, and how can you go through your pain if you lost someone's. Your friend, your boyfriend, your partner, if he passed away or walk away or anything like this. How can you manage something like this and get through something like this and be creative and work hard again and be yourself. Because I don't believe that the heart will be broken. We are not glasses. I think that you need time to heal, and then you will take your time and try to think how to be creative more and to find the hope. But you can tell me more.
I'll start with the science, basically. Science always is a mirror to us when we perceive something is possible or not possible. So one of the Newton laws is about the energy never disappears. Energy just changes forms. So when you apply that at a human behavioral level, nothing we miss. It just changes the form. So even if we go through a painful experience, that pain just changes a form. So whatever we perceive to be a pain, also there has a hidden pleasure that we don't acknowledge in that moment. So for instance, you know, if you look at how we co-created Living My Illusion, although the pain comes from Timia, okay? Because in Living My Illusion, in the first episode, The Truth Hurts, she comes to realize that everything she believed suddenly collapsed and it wasn't true. But although in that moment she feels the pain, with powerful questioning, I got her also to realize where the pleasure was. Because there's no such thing, pain without pleasure. There's no such thing as light without darkness. You know, anywhere, nature is telling us all of that. But we as human beings, we tend to believe falsely, our self-deceptive persona wants to believe that there's pain and we don't have pleasure from that pain. You know, I've helped many people diffuse totally any form of grief or pain within one-day consultation, where they've gone through therapy for almost years and taken antidepressant drugs, because falsely their perceptions are one-sided. And there's no such thing as one-sided perception. The balance always is in the brain. And it's only in our ability to be able to see the other side that we don't acknowledge in that moment that creates a breakthrough in person's perceptions, in their psychology, and also in life.